This episode of Bronco Week is brought to you guys by our friends at 5 Star Tuning. Use the link in the description below for all of your Bronco customization and tuning needs.
Today is a special day because what I have in front of me is the most highly anticipated vehicle of 2020. The most highly anticipated vehicle of 2021, maybe even 2022. That's right, the new Ford Bronco. Now this is the introduction of Bronco Week here at the Fast Lane Car. We are doing back-to-back coverage of, you guessed it, the new Ford Bronco. And in this video, we're going to go over a detailed walk around of this new model on the inside, the outside. We're going to show you what's good and what's not so good. And we're going to start out with this yellow one right here. This is a pretty cool model. Now this is a 4-door soft top Bronco. You can get it in both 2 and 4-door configurations, and this one is the Outer Banks, kind of the luxury oriented trim. Let's get right into it. Now there's 2 versions of the new Bronco. The Bronco Sport, which is a crossover unibody based SUV, and this one, the full-size Bronco. You may have seen the Bronco Sport running around roads in the cities near you, but this one is the one everybody has been excited for. This is the open top, doors off, hardcore 4-wheel drive. So let's start out with what's underneath the hood. 2 engine options, a 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and a 2.7 liter twin turbocharged V6. And those are mated to a choice of transmissions. If you get the 4-cylinder, which is pretty much the same engine that you'd find in the Ranger, you can get that with a 7-speed manual. I know, a 7-speed, we'll show that in a second, or a 10-speed automatic. If you want the twin turbo V6, which is very similar to what you'd find in the F-150, that one only comes in a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now let's start out with the exterior design. Some of the interesting things about the Outer Banks trim: the color matched fender flares. So you'll see that down here. We also have color matched mirrors. And if we look in the front, a gloss black grille. Not all Broncos have this configuration, so if we look at this black diamond parked next to it, check this out. This one has more of a black texturized fender flare and a grayed out grille with Bronco written across there in white. But because this model is kind of aiming toward a more road-oriented crowd, they've really spruced it up. You also see that in the wheels and tires. So this one is rolling on a set of 18-inch wheels with the Bridgestone dueler tire. Not necessarily a standard all-season. It still has some tread blocks in it, but not quite as crazy as what you'd find on that one over there, which is called the Badlands, the most extreme off-road trim. Coming along the side here, you'll notice side steps. These are not rock rails. This is just a side step to help you get in. And then in the back, full-size spare tire mounted to the tailgate. When you stand next to one, you quickly realize just how chunky and tough this vehicle looks. I also like these tie-down points they've included here on the front of the hood. I imagine if you were carrying like longer items, maybe even a canoe, that'd be a cool place to tie it down. You can see max load 150 pounds. And another kind of interesting idea is the way they've incorporated the door mirror. So you'll notice the mirror actually stays in position regardless of how you open the door. That's because, of course, this vehicle is intended to have the doors removed, and with this in position, you don't have to get some accessory mirror like you would on maybe a certain vehicle built in Toledo, I'll put it that way. I will say they do look a little bit like ears. It's a little bit of an interesting design, but let me know what you think of that in the comment section below. Not a big fan of how they did this. This is the entry keypad. I love this on Ford products, but it just looks a little bit tacked on. I don't know, it's not my favorite. I would have liked it if they had incorporated it into this pillar. It would have just looked a little bit sleeker. Now the soft top design, if you get a 4-door, you can get it in a soft top. 2 doors are only hard top from the factory. The soft top is actually manufactured by Ford, but you'll notice this area is pretty different from a Jeep because frameless windows. Did you see that? So there's no door frame that extends around the window. It's actually a frameless design, and the idea with this, according to Ford, you can roll the window down, right? And now the door is much more compact when you pull it off. And they say you can even put the door into the rear storage area when you're driving doorless, which is pretty cool. But it's also worth noting, you see that? Kind of comes down, I don't know, maybe ½ an inch, and that's so it doesn't damage the window as it makes its way along the seal here. Curious to see how that is long-term, longevity-wise, especially if you're driving this in the dirt, getting mud and stuff up in there, but we'll have have to wait and see for more in-depth reviews. So let's go ahead and hop in and take a look at the interior. I'm out here in Austin, Texas, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the air conditioning. But interior of the Bronco, all right, pretty different than its competitors from Jeep. First of all, the windshield's a little bit more slanted, and it's also worth noting the windshield does not fold down. So on a Jeep, you can actually fold the windshield down like you could on an old Willys Jeep from back in the day, but this one is fixed in position. The interior, very blocky, very squared off. So we've got a flat dash running along the top here, interrupted only by this, which is kind of an interesting idea. This is a mount, so it's a phone mount right now, but it could be a GoPro mount if you want to record some of your off-road expeditions. It's adjustable, you can spin it around, you can lift it up and down, and there's even, very handily, a USB power source right there, so you can plug in your devices and keep them charged up. Now you can get the Bronco in an 8-inch screen, but this one has a 12-inch screen. Looks really good, I have to say. Fills out the dashboard nicely, and it's got pretty much everything you'd come to expect in a luxury vehicle. Obviously, Sirius XM radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, phone connectivity, navigation. It's got various phone apps and all that, settings, and also features that you can play with, such as like zone lighting. And if we take a look, put this vehicle into reverse, full 360-degree camera. So unlike the Jeep models, you can't get a 360-degree camera in a Wrangler. You can in a Bronco, and that's a quick look at the back camera. Looks pretty high definition. Now below that, this is pretty standard to what you'd find and come to expect on a lot of Ford products. So volume, 2 knobs on this model. We've got automatic climate control for 2 zones, dual zone automatic climate control, heated seats, and a heated steering wheel right there. A little further back, automatic transmission shifter. I like the way they've incorporated this. It's an inline system with park, reverse, neutral drive, and then manual modes. And you can control the manual modes over here on the side of the shifter. This one does not have paddle shifters though, it's worth noting. And here's a 4-wheel drive selector. So there's no lever like you'd find in a Wrangler. Instead, you've got this little circle with this little ring. The circle, the inside of the circle, is how you engage the 4-wheel drive mode. So 4 auto, 2 high, 4 high. This one has the automatic function on the transfer case. And then if you spin this ring, it engages various GO modes. These are off-road modes, sport modes, and that changes the configuration of the vehicle depending on the terrain that you are driving on. I have to say I'm quite impressed with this interior. This is a little, it feels a little bit chintzy if I'm being totally honest with you. Obviously, not many people though drive along with their hands up here on top of the dashboard, but it is a texturized material. And up here is where we see our different off-road settings. So this particular one has the rear locking differential. This one also has a turn assist function. So when you're off-road in low range, spin the wheel, it will lock up the inside of your tire and kind of drag you along a turn much tighter than you typically could if you were just making a steering input. And you engage them by pushing in on these little rubber pads. They do feel pretty tactile. I was worried they'd feel a little, a little chintzy, but they do feel really nice. And we can see that you can engage the rear locker even in 4 auto. I think it'll let you engage it even in 2 high. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Yes, super nice. That's very nice to have that flexibility when you're cruising around off-road. Bronco name across the front of this dash panel, and these vents, 4 across the front of the dash. Very rugged, very squared off. Everything feels quite durable in this model. So here's the instrument cluster, configurable instrument cluster. You can see it's partially digital, partially analog. So the inside right here is configurable and digital, and of course it changes depending on the mode. But then you also have an analog speedometer, which I think looked quite nice. Grab handles to the left and the right side of the dashboard. So a Jeep will have the oh you know what bar here. Ford has decided to incorporate these ones along the side, although I don't see any grab handles up here on the top near the roof. Although on like a Jeep you can get an accessory handle. I'm wondering if you can do that from Ford, because there should be loads and loads of accessories. So the soft top here, a couple of latches, and like I said, I've never been in this vehicle. Let's see. All right, so that will just flip open. So that whole portion flips up. Oh, that is very interesting. There is no crossbar up here by the B pillar. So on the Wrangler you've got speakers up here, but on the Bronco there's nothing connecting the left and the right hand side of the vehicle for the B pillar. There is of course one back there on the seat. Let's take a look at the seats. First seat impressions, I think they're a little bit better than the Wrangler actually. A little bit softer, and it looks to be powerly operated as well. Power operated. So the Wrangler is manual even on the higher end models. This one's got some power adjustability with lumbar support. window controls down here in the center, and then we also have our mirror controls over here to the right. Looks pretty good. Storage cubbies. How are the storage cubbies? Very deep center console. That is good to see. 2 cup holders and a moderate sized storage cubby up there where I had the key, and that is where your wireless charger lives. How about the rear seat? Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the back seat of this Bronco. All right, so good knee room. I am 6'1". There's a sense of my headroom. Pretty decent. It's a little vertical. It's actually quite vertical. I wonder if there's a way we can recline the seat a little bit here. So if we pull this lever, that folds it. Oh, sure enough. Yeah, you do have a little bit of adjustability in terms of recline, which is good to see. So that's all the way reclined. See if that's made it any better. Yeah, it is a little bit better. That's nice. That's well thought out. Cup holders folding down like that. And then you can see the that cross member in the rear. They've incorporated the speakers not in the cross member, but behind the cross member. Interesting. Very interesting design. I wonder what that'll mean for audio quality. We're gonna have to give that a thorough test. So in the back here, hinges out, and actually hinges out a lot. Wow, look at that. Look at that opening. It's monstrous. So soft top, obviously that'll fold out of the way, and then there's our first look at the trunk. Durable rubber floor mats here throughout. Looks pretty good. Some additional speakers here, some lighting with the little Bronco. All right, this looks pretty good. Trunk is impressive, especially the way it hinges out to such an extent. Now, pricing on this yellow model, we've been looking at $53,150. So this one is a first edition, but the reason I'm showing you this one is because it has something called the Sasquatch Package, and this is one of the coolest things about this new vehicle. You can spec any Bronco with the Sasquatch Package. That gives you these monster 34, 35 inch tall tires. It gives you the wider fender flares, some more off-road goodies as well. And you can get this on the base, you can get this on the outer banks, you can get it on any trim of the Bronco. It really is a game changer, and it changes the stance. Guys, I am 6'1". Look how high the Bronco with the Sasquatch Package comes up to my chest there. It's just unbelievably tall and aggressive, but I wanted to show you this so you get a sense of what the Sasquatch looks like compared to some of the other trims we're looking at. Now I want to show you guys a couple of different trims, and this one right here is my favorite. This one is called the Black Diamond. This is what I call the everyman off-roader. If you're comparing this to the Wrangler lineup, this kind of competes with the Wrangler Willys. So it's not as crazy as the full-on Badlands or Wild Track, but the Black Diamond's got a great stance and it's got some cool off-road features. So there's the badging on the side, these wheels. A 17-inch wheel wrapped in a General Grabber AT tire. This is a proper steel wheel, polished black. I love steel wheels off-road. They don't crack like alloy wheels, so if you hit a rock really hard, you can bang them back into position and they will still hold air. You'll notice rock rails along the side of this one. Now you can get this model, just like every Bronco, in 2 or 4-door configurations. This one is the 4-door with the hard top. As we make our way to the back here, you'll notice, of course, that polished black steel wheel is also in the rear with the place for the backup camera, recovery point in the rear. But one of the coolest features on this one is that right there, the manual transmission. Now this is not a typical manual transmission that you'd find in other vehicles. This one is actually a 7-speed. So let's go ahead and start it up, foot on the clutch, push the start button, it comes into life. Get some AC going here because in Austin it is ridiculously hot. But this manual transmission operates a little bit unusually. So 6-speed everyday driving. You know, starting first, second, third, all the way up through 6 for highway cruising. But you'll notice this letter right there, C. If you pull up on this collar, you can engage the crawler gear. And this is for super slow 4-wheel drive maneuvers. A really big deal when you're out in the rocks, when you're out trying to perfectly modulate and place the vehicle on the rocks or the obstacle. It's also great if you're pulling, you know, other vehicles that are stuck in the mud. So that's one of my favorite features of the new Bronco, the crawler gear. But my favorite part about this particular Bronco is up here. You see that? This is a rear locker. So you can get the Bronco with open differentials. You can also get it with the crazy sway bar disconnect in the front locker and the rear locker. But this is kind of the happy medium in my opinion. A rear locker, no front locker, no disconnect, but this will get you probably 99% of places you'd ever want to go. So it's great that they've incorporated that into this particular model. Now, if we look at this hardtop, it's a little different than what you might come to expect out of like a Jeep. So it does have these removable panels pulled down on some latches and they pop out, but unlike the Jeep system, it has removable panels in the front and the back. So rear seat passengers can also get some fun in the sun experience. But I love what they've done with this particular trim. With the blacked out steelies, the rear locker on the black diamond. I mean, if you look at like the Jeep lineup, you can either get basically no lockers, a limited slip, or fully locked. But having that option, have just the rear locker, is exactly where I'd want to be in the lineup. These fender flares are easily removable. Whether or not you need that is another question, but it could be handy if you're out on the trail and you ding one. You basically twist 4 or 5 little turns and then that pops off altogether. Slightly different fender flare though than what you notice on the yellow one we just looked at. This is Bronco Week, folks. We got a lot more coming, so be sure to stay tuned right here to TFL Car.